Greetings, everyone. This is Pastor Theo with some quick announcements for this particular Sunday. First off, I want to pray and hope that all is doing well, that God is keeping us, that we are in good health and good finances and good relationship. All the things that are being adversely affected by COVID-19, I pray that our God is preserving us and He's actually growing us in this time. I want to encourage you all to tune in to the Thursday night prayer. That link in terms of the phone conferencing is sent out in the midweek. We have an awesome time of prayer that Nicole has been faithful in leading. And the prayers of the people availeth much. He has called us to be a house of prayer. So make every effort to tune in to that prayer on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. And if you can't tune in but you want to have prayers prayed for you, please email us throughout the week and we'll be sure to pray for you. Also, let us recognize our 2020 graduates. Bukala Ottawa has graduated from Penn High School. Joshua Shepherdson, Mark and Sherry's grandson, graduated also from Penn High School and is contemplating entering the military, so keep that in prayer. And Landon Shane graduated from Dickerson Fine Arts Academy and will be going to Adams in the fall. So be sure to shout them out somehow. And we'll try to think of some creative ways, maybe via Zoom or some drive-bys in which we can celebrate our graduates, because we want to let them know how proud we are of them. Just as a note, the obituary for Betty Carlson was published on the Covenant website this week. So you can check out that link that was in this past midweek. Also, we had a prayer request and a praise report. Sister Elaine in Minnesota. She was diagnosed with pneumonia, and a few days later she had chest x-rays that came back negative of no pneumonia. So we joined her in that praise report, praising God for her healing, but continue to pray as she still has an upper respiratory infection. Just note that we have a new Zoom link for this Sunday. It's going to allow us to have an extended time of prayer and fellowship without the 40-minute restriction. So we thank God once again for that technology grant that allowed us to purchase that new Zoom subscription. Also, if you go on the Central Conference website, you're going to see that there's a YouTube channel with conversations and responses to the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. This is important. I know as a black pastor in the Covenant, my heart is overwhelmed with joy knowing that I am a part of a denomination, and specifically the Central Conference, who has a heart for these type of issues. It's important, vitally important, that when these things arise, that the church is at the forefront in addressing these types of issues of injustice, and inequality, and national tragedies. And so I am pleased at the response by the denomination thus far, as well as the Central Conference. And so I encourage you all to join in and by watching those videos, because then it puts things in context. If you hear me preach a message where I touch on these things, you'll know that I'm just not an isolated individual, but this is something that the whole denomination is supporting and backing and wants to make sure this is a voice being heard. Just this is a very important update. Just hours ago, I'm shooting this on Saturday, we had a leadership team and we met and we were discussing and prayerfully discussing all the possibilities and options for return. And we came to the conclusion we are tentatively putting a date down of July 12th. So that is roughly a month from now. July 12th, we will be having our first in-person service. The plan is to have that be outdoors in the grassy area in front of the church. So we are trying to figure out what is the safest way and the most effective way to practice social distance while also making sure that we can begin to have that face-to-face fellowship. So we have planned on July 12th to start our regular time services at 10 a.m. It will be outdoors, and we will be developing a social distance protocol that we would strongly suggest that people would follow in terms of just being safe. And so there would be more information coming out in the near future. We are committed to making sure that we honor God, honor you all, and also be practicing faith as well as wisdom. But that is a major update that we are working towards that. And so I am super excited. All the leadership team are super excited. And we're hoping that you're super excited. Now, what will happen between now and then is we'll be ramping up what we're doing on Zoom, encouraging people to get involved in prayer, having that Zoom fellowship. We want to make sure that we're being good stewards over this current time. That way we can reap what we're sowing now during that new time. All right? So once again, this has been Pastor Theo with these announcements. I hope that you are all well. Let us get prepared to soon return to face. But until then, let's prepare our hearts and minds for worship. Take care. God bless.